Hey guys, welcome to my Week 2 America's League predictions and power rankings. There were a lot of big results this week, so I don't want to overreact too much, and especially the power rankings, but also the predictions. Um, like some other members of the community are, in my opinion. And yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment on who you think is going to win the games and what you think of my power rankings. Follow me on Twitter as well. Uh, I tweet stuff about Valorant and sometimes like the NFL. So if you're interested in either of those things, I recommend checking that out. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'll start with the predictions here because it kind of spoils the power rankings if I do those first. Or the power rankings spoil the predictions if I do the power rankings first. So we're going to start with C9 versus Loud. I'm going to take Loud. I think Cloud9 overperformed a little bit last week. I think they'll kind of settle down and be a bottom feeder as you'd expect, but also better than people expected at the beginning of the season. I don't think my opinion changed too much on Cloud9 after that week, except I am a little bit higher on the new players now. So that's all I really have to say about that. And then Leviathan Furia. This is a decently close game. I'm going to take Leviathan. They looked really, really nice against NRG last week. Furia running some interesting comps, but still beating Crew. So those were games of Valorant. And then NRG for Sentinels. Sentinels playing the Giga Banger against 100 Thieves last week, taking the win, which I got wrong. And then NRG also losing in a game that I got wrong to Leviathan. I'm taking NRG here. This one should be a pretty entertaining game. You'll have Marv co-streaming it against his former team, or at least his former teammates in like the FNS Optic Core. But I think NRG, they did a little bit of trolling with the map veto in that game, and is going to be better this week against Sentinels. And then MIBR Crew, this one was close. I'm going to take Crew. I'll talk about this a little bit more later, but I think MIBR was a very good matchup for Loud, so they kind of overperformed in that game. They also had just a lot of really great individual moments that I don't think will be replicated. And I also think Kesnet's very good, so I think Crew will take the win here. And then EG 100 Thieves. I am worried about 100 Thieves as a 100 Thieves fan myself, but I think they'll still make playoffs probably. Hopefully. I feel like if they missed out on them, people would erupt. And EG played like shit last week, so I think 100 Thieves will take this one. And now we have the power rankings, which I'm going to spend a little bit more time on. But here we go. So I have MIBR staying at 10 for similar reasons as I talked about before. I think having Loud's former coach, being regional rivals with Loud, having both teams be from Brazil, I think that's going to be a very good matchup for them, and they're not going to play up to that standard every week or even most weeks. I think they will probably get one win on one of the teams above them. And I just don't see this team doing too well. I had them power ranked 10th going in. That game, even though they played really well and overperformed expectations, I don't think they're going to continue to do that. So I'm not going to change my ranking of them. And then EG, I've dropping down 2 spots. Again, played like garbage. I mean, there's not really much to say. They just had the initial plan at the beginning of the round, and then it fell apart from there. I had already doubted Boostio as an IGL coming into the year. I thought he did pretty well at lock-in, but here it's just not looking good. I mean, they just overcooked it on both maps too with the comps, running Sova and Fracture, which I think was arguably worse than their Pearl comp. Let me take a look at the VLR page here. Well, I don't even remember what it was. It was that bad. Yeah, this running no duelist with Harbor with no Viper and Gecko, which I don't think is that good. It was just a mess. I don't think EG will do that well. Power ranking back up here so you can see it. I just, unless this team fixes issues or fixes their issues, which I don't really see. Honestly, this they don't take me as a team that's going to fix a lot of issues throughout the season. I don't see them getting out of the top seven. Um, I highly doubt this team is going to make playoffs, and I did have expectations of this team possibly doing that going in, but this game was really worrying. And then Cloud9 at 8, again, as I said before, even though the two new players did overperform, I don't think they were like I don't think the team as a whole really like surprised me. I mean, the two players held their own to their credit. I think Rooney maybe did a little bit more. It was Yeah, it was Rooney that won the 1v2 on Pearl as well, and then he had the 4K Sheriff to kind of seal the game at the end of Fracture. And then yeah, I think the other three players played really well. I think Zelsis had a great game, despite what he had at lock in. I think he played like shit at that tournament, to be nice about it. And yeah, I think Cloud9, I think they'll still start like 2-4 at best, but I think they can maybe get out of the split with like 3-4 wins. I think they have a shot at playoffs, but it's not a good one. But I don't think they'll do much past that. And then Crew, kind of similar thing. I don't actually think too much differently of them. And if anything, I think they're a little bit worse than I thought they were going to be. But also, like, the rest of these teams aren't that good. I think C9 will do a little bit worse than they did against EG. I think EG playing like garbage made them look a lot better. And I think they'll continue to. I think this group of four teams at the bottom will like trade wins with each other most of the season. And then Fury at 6. I didn't want to move them down because I think they played fine. I don't think they did anything wrong. I just think some of the teams above them are just better. Um, and then 100 Thieves, similar deal. Not really. I think they probably should have won that game, but they kind of just lost it at the end of it. Cryo, again, not having a great game, especially on Fracture. I mean, there was the overtime round on Fracture where he caught Def at the end of the rope and he just whiffed the op shot. I mean, I think you could argue them being below Furia at 6, and I wouldn't be mad about it. But I'm gonna have them at number 5 because I still trust this team. As I'm recording this, they just dropped James IRL, their assistant coach. That was technically their 6th man. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Whether they're gonna pick up a new like assistant coach 6th man, or they're gonna transfer like a content creator like Kiko over to that spot. We'll just have to see. Uh, but considering they got rid of him, I don't think they really had much there. And then Sentinels at 4. Role swaps look pretty good, man. I mean, obviously, Saucy and Pancata weren't great at Smokes or Sentinel. Like, I think Saucy was a bit late on some of his util, with the Omen especially on Ascent. But Pancata looked pretty nice on the Killjoy, and I think the way they want to play the game, these roles make more sense. Especially with Def being better IGLing on the flex role, which he really was. I mean, he was really, really good. His calling in that game, I thought. And then Tenzin second popped off too. I don't think you'll get that every week. That's why I have them losing down RG. But I still think they played a lot better than I thought they were going to, and give me hope that this team might be able to make Tokyo. And then NRG, I think they'll play up to that second ranking. I just think Leviathan is better than them because they won this week. So, because that was just like splitting hairs between those two teams. And then Loud, I didn't really talk about them during the predictions, but like it just felt like they were just trying stuff similar to how Optic was trying stuff after they won Reykjavik, similar to how FPX or Navi tries stuff every single split. It's just like if you're never gonna try things during the regular season, then what's the point? Obviously, they got pushed by a regional rival in MIBR, but I think that is also to do with their coach and having the coach be Loud's former coach, so they might know like some player tendencies and whatnot. I didn't really see too much evidence of that, but I thought it was just kind of like a thing there that might have led the game to be a little bit closer than it should have been. And yeah, so that's going to be the video. So here's my predictions for this week, just in case you wanted to get another look at them. I have Loud, Leviathan, NRG, Crew, and 100 Thieves winning this week. I'm actually surprised I did the worst in Americas out of the three regions, even though this is the region that I know the most about. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, that's about it for the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know who you think's going to win and what you thought of my power rankings. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.